what up? 4-1, what up? Southwest, what up? I'm in the hood, pull up. Van Dyke, North End, Beirut, what up? PA, pull up. Eastmore, what up? Detroit, what up? Champtown, what up? Gun Roof, what up? I'm in the hood, pull up. Yanktown, Kazoo, Ben Har, what up? Flintstone, Ipsy, Lansing, what up? Michigan made the lineage of a Wolverine. I'm next up to rap games in the guillotine. Mr. It's a body himself, I'm known to kill a scene. I got the illest team, made scar and striped I earn. I'm a veteran, big K's in front of the building, you think it's Kettering. 95 Max Master, Northwestern Letterman.
What's up, y'all? We back up in this thing, man. Y'all know we love y'all and y'all love us, so it's always appreciation with everything we do and gratitude. You know how we do it. It's Any and Everything podcast by two kings. I am King DJ.
And I am King Perez.
My guy. Before we go anywhere, that's that Rocket or Drop It this week. Make sure y'all hit those polls. Rocket or Drop It for this week is Crown Me Cook. What up? Hey, listen to that whole motherfucker. He's spitting that shit, though. And
shout out to everybody.
That's mad love. You feel me? Yeah, Lee let you know it's what up. Yeah, he talked about coming on the show, so we'll have him on here in a couple of weeks, to spit what he got to spit and deliberate his knowledge. Y'all know how we do it up on this show. What we talking about, P? We on
Well, we're getting close to Father's
Juneteenth.
Day.
Say no.
So, let's talk about the issues and everything that surrounds being a father. Yesterday and today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Obstacles and shit, as fathers making the right decisions and, kicking it with, just fathers in general, you know what I'm saying? We fathers that have older children, we supposed to be, passing that information down to the younger fathers, that might be on their way into, situations that we already faced and went through. So, it's just give a positive feedback to, fathers.
What fatherhood is.
Yeah, because, we are, pretty much buying by stereotypes, you know what I'm saying, especially in the black community when it comes to the men that, raise their kids and want to see them on the right path.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Because ain't no book on that.
Nah.
It ain't no manual, ain't no, you can't Google up nothing on how to be a father. All you get is a bunch of opinions. You know what I'm saying? And everybody got an opinion. You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty much based off of, like I always say, man, I take around all of the information and I decipher in and I shift, and what's for me is for me.
Right.
As a father, I do the same thing because I didn't have a father growing up. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like this generation of fathers are a lot of fathers that didn't have fathers growing up. Right. And now we are fathers and we taking on that, that role of a father, because it's like, what I could have, because I always say what I could have did or what I could have been if my father was in my life. My father did jail time, you know what I'm saying? But if he could have been a father to me, where would I have been?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What different route in my life would I have took, knowing that a boy has the presence of a father. I didn't really have really decent role models as a young kid growing up neither, so that made it even.
And, I look at it, with the advice, my father wasn't really present in my life, but I had a stepfather that was present. And I think he never really wanted to take the role of a father because he didn't want to, kind of like have that same type of relationship with me. He wanted to have more like of a mentor relationship, and if I took to him like a father, it was accepted. You know what I'm saying? But
how old were you when he came in your life?
I was probably like about maybe 12.
Oh, okay, so yeah.
So it was like,
ways.
Basically it was like, with me and him, we was cool. You know what I'm saying? And that coolness come from, like him just kicking it with me. He wasn't even trying to be like all plenary, and he was always like, "Let me talk to you." So we would sit down and have these, serious ass conversations and shit. You know what I'm saying? Which I always took from that, like, and I can think on it later, like, and that's why I thought of him more as like a father, like, like this my old dude, because this, the things he does for me, and the conversations we have.
Did you call him dad?
Yeah, I just started calling him dad because I mean
he played that.
He played that role, and that's all that I had, and it's like even when I did fucked up shit, you know what I'm saying? His whole demeanor and tone, it wasn't like I'm gonna basically fuck you up,
He knew
but
that
let's
that
sit down
authority
here
is.
and have this conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he was country, so when I fuck up and the word got back, and he'd see me, he'd be like, "He's not. Come on, let's have this conversation."
You already know how I was. You would never forget no shit like that.
I was like, shit, here we go. Yeah. I was like, the cat's out the fucking bag now, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't, I didn't never feel like he was getting in my ass. I just felt like he was teaching.
Guiding you, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, growing up, you don't realize that till that person gone, how much, time and everything they put into you to make you the person that you are today.
That's a fact.
And I tell people it didn't stop me from doing a lot of fucked up shit that I did, but in
the back of your head, you always heard that voice.
Yeah, I always heard that voice. So it's like, even though I get out in the streets and do shit, it was a limit to the shit that I done. You know what I'm saying?
All right now.
Because
don't go too far.
It was a limit because I would think, you know what I'm saying? Because it'd be, to me, embarrassing if, I get caught doing this shit, knowing that I got to face the old dude, and look at him man to man and be like, this go against the shit.
I know somebody out here gonna be like, so why do it? Motherfucker, because we did it. Shit.
When you're younger, you get that impulse to do something. And,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Same reason why you did the shit you did. Bro.
I mean,
don't judge.
I think we as parents and shit, and a lot of times I had to look back on this and shit when my kids do certain things and shit, I'd be highly upset about it. But sometimes I had to think back when I was a kid and when I did certain shit that they doing now. And you know what I'm saying? What was my mind frame? How did I think? How did I feel? When all that shit came out, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, my thing is, oh, this is crazy. Well, my thing is, I look at it like this. We live life and we go through different experiences in life as a kid, as an adult. So we kind of, when we raising our kids, we got to look at it as like, everything is not one of them situations where I'm going to just whoop your ass
out, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or I'm going to just, treat you this way because of your behavior.
Discipline you.
Right. We got to kind of like, understand, and sometimes we need to sit down and talk to shit.
Man, I've been loving conversations, dog, cause like I'm to the point where everything is a conversation, whether you in trouble or you not.
Right.
I'm giving you the conversations that I felt like I wanted, as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I didn't have a father. So for my son to have, like, I know it's YouTube University like a mud now, so we can't really say ain't no reason why we can't, change tires or change brakes and shit like that.
Right.
But as a kid, I didn't have nobody to teach me how to change tires. Right. I learned the hard way. You know what I'm saying? Get out there and do it. Hey, first time I changed a tire, I broke the bolts off. 3 of them. So I'm riding with 2 lug nuts. My bad, I broke the bolts off 2 of them, and I'm riding with 3 lug nuts, but 2 of them was on the same side. Right. When I went to go and get my tire changed, because I put the spare on there, when I went to go and get my tire changed, bro, dog said, bro, you lucky you ain't kill yourself. I said, what you mean? He said, bro, it's 3 of these and 2 on the same side. And he told me everything I did wrong. Clearly, I kind of changed the tire, right? But I was too strong. You know what I'm saying? So I had to adjust and finesse and all. I ain't had no father. I learned the hard way. I had to change the tire meanwhile ago. Hey, boy, come here. I changed tires. I had to learn how to change the tire the hard way. Let me teach you. I'm outside the front of the house. Jack this up. Pause. Fix this up. Do this. Pop these love nuts off. You know what I'm saying? And he just being there, absorbing it. And I'm like, bro, this could have been me so I'm still not going to take away from the opportunity that I have to give him, even though I didn't know.
Right.
You know, because it's still it's trial and error. You know, he may not get it this time, but it's gonna be a couple other times we may have to change some tires or whatever. But at least he gonna always be able to say, I had this moment with my dad before I had to experience it on my own. Right. Or I had a conversation with my dad before I had to experience it on my own. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's always the blessing for me. You know.
And I always think too, you know, as thinking back as being a young father, becoming to a father, teenagers to a father of an adult, you know what I'm saying? The decisions that we make, you know, as far as, you know, dealing with women, you know, it's like we got to be accountable for the type of women that we pick, you know, to have kids.
Obviously, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's a main factor why most of these relationships are strained with our kids. You know what I'm saying? Because of the type of women that we pick and go for. You know, me as a man and being a young male, you know, when I was growing up, it was about who had the best body, who was, you know, the prettiest. You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, when it comes to raising kids, that's not even a factor. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, yeah, she might have a nice body. She might have a beautiful face and shit like that, but piss, you know,
morals ain't, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, I mean, you got to think, when we at work or if we not living together, these are the people that's around your kids.
What Kanye West say? 18 years.
Yeah, 18
years. And on the 18th birthday, he found out it wasn't his.
I mean, shit like that. Cause I mean, look at what we go out here and pick, dude. You know what I'm saying? We got to be cautious about what type of women we pick to lay with. And as men, we do a piss poor job of that shit.
That's.
I mean, you got to think about it.
You telling.
If you dealing with
that's kind of hard though.
No, it's not hard.
I hear what you're saying, but we having kids at a young age. You feel me? How old were you when you had your first?
20.
Thank you. So we were around about the same age when we had our first. Mm-hmm. We wasn't mentally thinking like, okay, let me bear children to. You know what I'm saying? Make sure they elevated by the woman the right way. We looking at the moment for the moment of what we was doing at that moment.
And guess what? That's why I say it's the jobs of
they were
guys
mistakes.
Like us.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? The older fathers that reached out to these younger people and let them know, hey, dude, you got to look at it like so this 5 to 10 years down the line. You know what I'm saying?
What if a bad mom, this is another conversation, but I'm just tapping in right fast. What if a bad mom want a baby? Like what if a woman that's not qualified, like morally, compasly not qualified, that we would deny a baby? What if she want a baby? That keep her the rights of having a baby, or should she get a deadbeat dad?
I mean, who's she gonna have a baby by? I mean, that's what I'm saying. We gotta start.
What if she beautiful? Beautiful, but more compasses, you know.
I mean, and a lot of dudes will jump on the opportunity to have
just get her that, get her that moment.
But the thing about it is, we as men
gotta equip ourselves. Strap up, my dog.
We gotta be better in conscious minds of who we having kids by.
I agree. You know I agree because having kids is not just having kids; it's having a legacy.
I mean, if you got a woman that's always on the phone arguing with somebody else, out in the streets fighting. You know, in and out the clubs, twerking and shit all downtown and shit. I mean, really, do you want this woman to have your kids and represent your kids? Because you got to understand, the shit she doing now, that shit ain't no stop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So look what type of situation you putting yourself in.
But some of them women are still good women, though. They just living in their moments.
Well, you're not ready to have a kid then in that moment. You know
that's what I'm saying. Like, we teaching the both of them. Because the man, that's why I say you strap up, my dog.
Yeah, because make
sure he strap up, my girl.
We out here making bad decisions. Yeah. Then we got to go to court for 4 and 5 years just to fight to see our kids. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that.
I mean, shit, it's good women out here tripping up guys and fucking up good fathers too, though.
Yeah, so a lot of times,
I feel like that shit changed. The narrative changed after the baby come. The narrative always changed because you have a good woman who been good. Y'all was cool and it was all good. It was all good just a week ago. And then once that baby actually gets present into this earth, then the woman mindset changed. Tap in, ladies. Why? Because I've seen it. The woman mindset changed where she feel like it used to be, oh, I cater to this dude, or you is my boy, you is my friend, you is my lover, all of that. To now is, oh, I do whatever for my baby. Is fuck you if it got to come to my baby. Why? But it wasn't that then. Why can't we just do this together like we was doing that together?
Well, that's why we got to be more diligent as fathers. And
Shit, can't see that before it come.
No, you can't see it before it comes. But guess what? It's
a slap in the back of the neck.
The thing is, you don't have to accept that as a man. And like, first of all, I don't even rock with dudes that don't take care of their kids.
Square. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And can't no dude tell me that, well, this woman keeping me from seeing my kid. Because, I know that's all bullshit.
Not in 2023.
If you don't want to see your kids, just say you don't want to see your kids. Because, I went to court for 4 years. 4 fucking years. Every court date I went to, didn't miss. You know what I'm saying? Every program they tried to throw at me, I went to, didn't miss. Because why? I wasn't giving up on my kid. And wasn't nobody going to take my child from me, our child, because we either co-parent or I'm going to do this shit by myself. But she wasn't going to take our child and just tell me that, well, you're not going to see the kid, you're not going to be in their life and shit like that.
All praises to the ones that can co-parent. Yeah. And it's strictly co-parenting.
I see women and men out here like
they doing that shit.
Man, good, they co-parenting like it ain't shit. They be at every function.
I was just about to say
barbecues, birthdays, you know what I'm saying? They got different families and they families cool and they do the cookouts and it's like, nothing but love because they want them kids to grow up. You know what I'm saying? In a healthy environment. Right. Ain't no jealousy. Ain't no this or that. And I tell people all the time, look, if my kid is 15 years old, you know what I'm saying? And I got other kids, after that, what makes you think I still want your old lady? And it's been so much time in between that we could have got back together.
Or shit, even if she's single and she just understand, or y'all just got the understanding like, hey, whatever we doing, we just simply doing it for our kid.
Exactly.
As long as we keep our relationship. Because this is my thing. Like the relationship can fail if the kid is already here.
Yeah.
But then if the relationship fail, all things should be designated towards the child.
Right.
Now, if we find the common interest in this child or the kids. Then a friendship should be able to be established.
Right.
Why? Because this is the common interest. Right. If we keep this on a pedestal and all good is for this, no bad, and the ego is out of it, then therefore it should be a common ground, a good understanding. Birthdays, we can be that. You can do that. I ain't saying you gotta. I know Jess Hilarious says she's still cool with her baby daddy. Where dog was calling her at 1 o'clock in the morning talking about something. I messed up. Come and pick me up and all. I ain't saying you got to do all of that, but if you're doing that, that's cool too. You know what I'm saying? But just a common, what's up when y'all see each other and no disrespect. That should be dope as fuck.
And I tell people all the time,
and it's good energy for the child to see.
I mean, you family.
Yep.
You know what
I
I'm saying?
see it.
Me and my kids' mothers, we vibe like we best friends. You know what I'm saying? Because if my kids' mothers even, ever had a concern, I want to go back to school. I need you to get the kids. No problem. Mm-hmm. I got a new job. You know what I'm saying? I'm working midnight, so I need the kids to stay with you and, I pick them up from school. No problem. You know what I'm saying? That's what, parents do. You know what I'm saying? They work shit out and they help each other, dude.
Do your sisters got siblings outside of the 4?
Yeah.
Can your sister's siblings come over here and just be cool and chill?
Yeah.
That's the type of shit I be talking about.
The thing
as a father, this is what you should preach. And like, because it's protection, bro. If you teaching your kid, you want to learn your child with a sense of protection and love and care, and that shit starts at their age, whatever age they are, with they siblings.
Right.
So you teach that type of shit.
My stepdaughters, my stepdaughters love the hell out of me because, for the simple fact, I didn't treat them no different than I treated my kids.
Yep.
If they call me and be like, hey, Dad, or if they call me P or whatever, I need to do this or that, no problem. You know what I'm saying? When it came to getting on their ass, you being lazy, you know what I'm saying? You need to get a job, you already know where I'm coming from. I'm coming out of love.
Yeah, you created that relationship.
It ain't shit that I won't do for them that I won't do for my kids.
That bond is still important because it's still a part of fatherhood.
So I didn't, my thing was, if I entered one of my kids' mother's life and they had young kids, regardless if their father was around, they still had that second, you know what I'm saying, that second father, that second friend, that second role model, or that second, male figure in their life that was going to, look out for them and guide them. And I can say I had never had a problem with any of my stepkids' fathers. You know what I'm saying? When we meet, it's all love. You know what I'm saying? Because I look at it like this. My daughters had the best of both worlds when they had two males that's in their life looking out for their best interests.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? And they see two men
when it's
coming
two real
together.
Men.
You know what I'm saying? And working shit out. You know what I'm saying? That, to me, that's great.
Yeah.
Because, if one can't do it or one's not in that position to do it, this other one's going to do it, you know what I'm saying? Or they're going to work together. And,
if both of them do it at the same time.
Exactly.
All it's doing is showing a sense of protection. You know what I'm saying? Like, two heads are better than one.
Because they look at it like, with kids growing up, they look at it like, I got a strong foundation because I got multiple people, you know what I'm saying, I can talk to. And I always said, even with my kids, if my kids didn't feel like comfortable talking to me, they can talk to my wife. If they didn't feel comfortable talking to their wife, they can talk to their stepmom, their godmom. You know what I'm saying? So it's no way that any problem you have shouldn't be solved because you got multiple peoples that you can talk to.
It'll take a village to raise a child.
So it's like, people come to me and be like, well, your daughter told me this and this. Don't say nothing, but you know what I'm saying? We're going to work with it because this is how she feel. Now, she might not have felt comfortable with telling me that, but she told her godmom. So, you know what I'm saying? That problem, that solution is still getting handled.
Yeah, I definitely agree with, I'm hearing you as a single father speaking, but I'm speaking as a sense of, at once I was a single father raising my son, and I did equip myself with other people that could help me with my child, and because when I first had my boy, I was struggling. I was dog in the dirt. You know what I'm saying? But I had people around me who was like, hey, I got you. And now I'm to the point where I got my son.
It would have been
in a way better situation.
If I didn't have the people and the women in my life that I had.
Oh, you whore bag. His whore. No, I'm playing. I'm just.
It would have been terrible for me because I'm, at the time, I'm raising 3 daughters.
Literally.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm raising 3 daughters and I'm a single man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I gotta get their hair game together. You know what I'm saying? I gotta make these appointments. I gotta take them to school. You know what I'm saying? I got each one of them are individuals, so I got to deal with individual attitudes.
All estrogen, all type of estrogen.
And I'm in a house with all girls. You know what I'm saying? So I got to be the referee. You know what I'm saying? I got to be the counselor. You know what I'm saying? I got to be the therapist. I got to be the teacher.
You got to be feminine.
And that's the thing about it is, one thing I learned, man, as a father, and it was tripped out because I don't even know how I came to this conclusion. I've been raising my girls for so long. I just realized when they started getting to like close to their teens, I was like, they not feminine girls at all. You know what I'm saying? Because they hang around me so much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, kids get comfortable and they be like, well, I don't want to go over here or go over there. But I had to start sending them with their moms like, look, you got to spend some time with your moms. You got to hang out with your moms because you need that, you need that, right. I'm trying to find that certain word. Not even that. It's just that, that care, that, that love and care that your moms give you, that hugs.
Self-love, the energy,
you know what I'm saying? We as men, we more of a disciplinary. We kind of like, we don't show emotions.
Alpha male type of stern.
So I didn't want that for them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you gotta start hanging around with women.
But one thing though, you gotta learn how to turn that off and on too.
Right.
Because that's a switch. Like, because when you said something and a question popped up in my head to ask you, would you let your daughter paint your nails?
Yeah.
See, like I remember seeing a meme on that on the internet, and a lot of guys were saying, no, why would I do something like that? You know what I'm saying? But if my daughter want to be a nail tech and she say, Daddy, can I practice?
Right.
And it's only, I'll go and buy her a hand. I mean, come on, man. But that time that you spending allowing her to do that is more cherishable than her sitting up painting a hand that she gonna still paint anyways.
I look at it like this. My daughter came to me, my youngest daughter. She came to me like, Daddy, I want a sewing machine. I was seeing how they sew on YouTube. I want a sewing machine and I want to sew and stuff like that. And so, I'm like, fuck it. Okay, this is what you want to do. I went out and brought a sewing machine. It was like about $300, $400.
Oh, so you want the one? Yeah.
She sewed all for about a week. And she would be like, Daddy, would you help me with this? So I ain't never sewed shit before. I'm trying to read the instructions on how to set this shit up, and show her. And the thing about it is, I paid $200 or $300 for that sewing machine. Yeah, she only fucked with it for about a week, but for that whole week that we was sewing and I was working and we was sitting there together,
moments.
That shit priceless.
Yeah, I think it was her moments. It was her moment.
Whether she picked back up on it or not, it was, she can always remember. I remember when I said I wanted to sew and me and my dad sat down and we worked for, about a week to try to do this. And you know what I'm saying? That's a good feeling because, emotionally, they know that you was there for them and you had their back.
Oh, my God.
You know what I'm saying? Regardless of, how the outcome came, like, my dad was there for me. He supported me.
I asked my daughter, I say, Princess, my daughter plays soccer right now. I think it's kind of cute because she be out there killing that shit. She got hit in the chest with the ball and everybody was like, oh. I was like, good job, Princess, let's go. She was like, it took off running. I was like, yeah, don't worry about that shit. Keep going, baby. And I was like, Princess, would you be mad if I miss your game? If I ain't come to another game? She's like, yeah, Daddy. I was like, why? She was like, because you go to all of Lonnie's stuff. I'm like, yeah. So I see that you see that.
Right.
I'm giving them attention. So I got to make sure, even though they both in, my son in soccer, my son in karate, wrestling, and band. You know what I'm saying? My daughter just in soccer right now. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that she's in something, she want me to be a part of it. So
right.
It's like I had to go and talk to my son. Like, hey, your sister doing this. I may miss some of your stuff. You know what I'm saying? And he like, man, I understand. I've been doing this for a while. Now she about to start. Go ahead. I'm like, yeah. Because that's that big dog talk that I teach my son. Like,
right.
It ain't just about you, but when it's about you, you gloat in your glory. You know what I'm saying?
And man, I think we so tight casted on stereotypes, but I think people don't look at the big picture because if you look around you, you start going to these schools and you just out in public, you see so many men with their kids. And
look
I'm
at
not
all
just
look
talking
at all of the
about
men we
8 or
had
9,
on our
10.
show.
I'm talking about men that had a baby, and carriages and shit and just pushing them around and shit, man.
Daddy daycare type shit.
Yeah, that's a good feeling because if really you just listen to the main screen and shit like that, you would think that, black fathers are non-fucking existent. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and they always push that stereotype. Black fathers never around. They don't do nothing for their kids.
Man.
I can't see it.
I pray. I got many friends. Many friends. Many friends. Bars. I got a lot of guys. I got a lot of friends, male friends that, man, we all take care of our kids. Like we don't play that, bro.
Right.
We don't play that. And for the ones that, got kids and not in their life, we on their head. Like, what's up?
Right.
And if you ain't showing no interest, low key, we be distancing ourselves. Like, man, we'll let you know. Like, man, you already know. Like, legacy is everything to everybody we be around.
Yeah. And I tell a lot of dudes, man, I be like, look, to have a stable mind and a good relationship with your kid, sometimes you got to put yourself out that situation. So you got to understand, if paying child support is going to put you in a better situation to where you can have open communication and you can have free time with your kid, go on down there and pay that fucking child support. It's worth it. Because I pay child support to have a peace of mind.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? And to be an influence on my kids. Because, I see in a lot of relationships, man, that the mothers are too entwined with the kid to where they feel like the father has no say-so of what goes on. And the father should never put himself in a situation where he don't have no say-so what goes on with his kids. So sometimes you gotta separate yourself from that when you see it's too much. You know what I'm saying? And
what you mean separate yourself? Like,
you gotta let that relationship go. A lot of these fathers, they stay in the relationship because
okay.
They don't want to pay child
Okay.
support.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? They don't want the system coming after them and shit like that, but it's an unhealthy relationship.
Yeah.
And if it's an unhealthy relationship, it's unhealthy for your kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's too many programs out here in the court. There's too many motions you can file where a motherfucker cannot keep you from your kid.
Not today.
Because at the end of the day, if I go to the court so many times and you still not abiding by that custody order, it's called child alienation.
Yep.
And I can push that.
Yep. And you will get custody of
your child. Exactly. And a lot of men don't know that.
Yep. If that opposite parent don't abide by the rules that was set,
they'll lose their custody. You know what I'm saying? And it depends on the things that they doing. They might lose their custody and have to do supervised parenting.
Yep.
To where they don't have the access that they want to the kid. You know what I'm saying? But it's us as fathers that really got to stop being scared of the system and embrace that system and, really study that system and do what's best for your kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's no way I'm going to have a kid out here and say, I done heard this, actually, a sheriff that I was talking to one time told me that. He's like, why is you fight so hard when you can just see your kid when they turn 18? Like, motherfucker, you think I'm going to have to miss my kid entire whole fucking life just to see them when they 18? What the fuck we got to talk about when they get 18? They done did everything. I done missed every fucking thing.
I was told social media coming up soon. She'll get older. Catch her on social media.
I'm like, no.
Geez.
I don't know if you just never had your father in your life, or you don't know how important it is to be a father, or you know what I'm saying, you the type of person that just don't want to be bothered with your kids and shit.
To praise the fathers that are trying to get they child, and in these situations that we talking about,
right.
The feeling that I dealt with for the years that I wasn't able to see my daughter, and I was fighting to see my daughter, and I was getting nowhere. Man, them was like the most miserable years of my life. I kid you not. And I feel like once I got my daughter, everything been up. Since all my kids lived with me.
Right.
I even dealing with the death of my son, like I've still had all good moments in my life. You know what I'm saying?
You think about it. I said I had to fight for 4 years. Can you imagine fighting for 4 years?
Nope, I can only imagine fighting for 3.
I mean, just to have rights, just to see your kid, man. Somebody, a kid that you bonded with, you know what I'm saying? And you looked at it and it was like, my child is precious to me, and have somebody just snatch that away because of bitterness, or just because they don't like who you with, or you just moved on in life, and they try to take that happiness from you. So, I mean, sitting up for 4 years fighting for that was 4 years of hell. But see, that 4 years of hell paid off, because from that 4 years, I got to spend the rest of this time with my daughter and raise her and see her coming into, her older age. You know what I'm saying? That's fucking priceless, dude. You know what I'm saying? If I never accomplish shit in life, if I never do anything else, I had the pleasure of raising my girls and seeing them grow up as a family.
Literally.
You know what I'm saying?
And being able to have an environment with their other siblings.
Being in the household with me every day, you know what I'm saying?
I
come in the door, I be looking for them, you know what I'm saying? They are my peace.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I want to be entwined with what they doing, Them my people.
Anyways, man.
I love them to death, you know what I'm saying? Right or wrong.
I'm loving the moments that I'm able to give my kids, man. Especially now that they getting older. Like your kid's older than mine, so
right.
I'm speaking, I'm speaking behind you. But my son is 12, my daughter is 7,
Right.
And it's like I'm watching. I remember having a dialogue. I remember when I used to have to talk to my son like he was 7.
Right.
And he understood what 7-year-olds, And now he's 12, and I can talk to this kid like he my age.
Right.
And I ain't talking wild. I'm just talking about knowledge, morals, values, characteristics, things, stuff like that kids need to learn at a younger age. So I'm like, if I can teach him what I know now, I feel like I'm a solid guy. But if he learn what I know now at this age and grow on that,
right.
We always say we want our kids to be better than what we are. I feel like that's the way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You really have to take your own soul out. Yes, they have their own individual soul, but when I say soul, I'm speaking knowledge and values and things like that, and give it to them. And like I say, always let them decipher if this is what they want to pick up.
Right.
And if they act outside, you have to bring them back to what you taught them and say, now this is why I said that. And then allow them to say, all right, now I caught on. All right. And if they don't catch on, that's their characteristic. Everything was preordained anyway, but it's all about lessons. But you still have to give.
Right.
You still have to give so they can have those lessons to be able to embark on. You know what I'm saying? And even if they don't.
Yeah. I mean, because you got to look at it. At the end of the day, they are individuals. They growing. They develop in their own mind. How they want to do things, how they perceive life. And, at some point, we do become a guide. And the way we guide is the way they learn. You know what I'm saying? Because, I'm from the South. I grew up was like, every time you fuck up, you getting your ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't no in between. There wasn't no conversation.
I got a question for you, and this not talking about what you're talking about, but having 4 girls,
right?
How was your first time having to deal with her mistress? How did that feel to you?
The good thing about that, my daughter, they like either 4 or 5 years apart. So, like, my oldest daughter, her mom's handled that. So I was like straight, you know what I'm saying? So with each other daughter becoming of age, it's like the sister was getting them tight.
So for the fathers that's out here and that dealt with that, I want y'all to tap in on that.
Now, for the last one, you know what I'm saying? Like, my daughter's growing up and, they going to school. So for the last one, I had to deal with that, you know what I'm saying? So we was talking in code words and shit, you know what I'm saying? Because we didn't want to say the shit out loud, you know, whether she was embarrassed or I was embarrassed. So she was like, Dad, I need some stuff. And I'm like, okay, what you need? She was like, I need the stuff. And I'm like, what stuff? And she was like, look at your phone, I'm going to text you. So she texted me a picture.
Put you in.
So I was like, oh, you need that stuff, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's like, my daughters are moved out, my daughter's out of town, so now I got to go get it. So, you know, shit, I went to the CVS. I was in that motherfucker like John Wick, you know. I was checking the aisles out and shit, see what was in there, you know. Shoot down the aisle, trying to look at the picture and shit.
Real fast.
Right, and match it up. Then it's funny as hell because I get to the register. And so the guy at the register, he ringing shit up. And it's like all of a sudden when he get to, you know, the pads and shit, he like flipping them and finding them. I'm like, man, just put the shit in the bag, dude.
Like he on the movie.
Yeah, like put the shit in the bag and let's go. You know, but I don't have no problem with going to get them. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no problem with talking to, with my girls about it. I mean, whatever their comfortability is, you can text me, you can use the code words, you know.
Yeah, I wanna have a hand in that.
Right.
I'm married, so I know my wife gonna have a big hand in it, and then she had her mother as well, and by that time, I'm sure her mother gonna have a big hand in it. Mm-hmm. But I want to be able to have a hand in it, so I could be at least make her feel comfortable,
right,
around like other people. Because I done been around women who, like at work, you know, as being in school, college, and stuff, where you know a chick got up and left a stain on the yang, not knowing that, you know. And when I'm gonna let you know, because I don't want you to. I was raised by a single woman, right. You know. I've never seen that with my mother, but my mother was comfortable with having pads just laid around. You know, I just every time I seen, I don't want to touch that shit. You know, right. You know, as a boy, I ain't want to touch my mama's panties. You know what I'm saying? But you know, when I seen women dealing with that, I would let you know. Hey, sweetheart, excuse me. You know, don't. You know, so I want to be able to have a conversation with my daughter to always know, be able to pay attention to your body, right, and your cycle sequence.
I think with raising daughters and being around like their mothers and raising daughters, I'm more in tune to women. You know what I'm saying? So I'm more protective of them. I'm more, you know what I'm saying, to the point where, you know, I'm trying to teach them and, you know, understand certain things and be a little bit more open and patient with things that, you know, happen. And I think, you know, that's the great thing about being a father of girls, because you in tune to, you know, women, you know, the things that they deal with.
I feel like it's a balance. I feel like you got to have a balance. As a male, you got to have that masculinity, that masculine energy. You have to show her that, because you want her to be able to see that and go on and pick a masculine male, you know. But then you got to show her the feminine energy, to know like this is how you're supposed to be catered to, as you know, once you make that transition. Right. So in order for her to even feed off of that's based off how to pick. But if you ain't had no father in your life to even teach you, or even dealing with a man, you know, even dealing with a boy, because I teach my son. I let my sons know, like, nigga, like, I mean, like, hey, like, son, when I was young, before I got married, I had a wild life, boy. Like, your daddy got around, you know what I'm saying? And he'd be like, man, I can't tell. Nah, I speak, look and see. I said, hey. My wife would be like, yeah, your daddy was around. You know, so I tell him, like, hey, if you ever having girl problems, let your daddy know, because he gonna be able to work you out of it. The principle is always the same. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I can be able to give it to my daughter, let her know, like, hey, I was the fucked up individual before I got married. You know what I'm saying? I was a fucked up individual. I didn't deal with women the right way. You know what I'm saying? Then I had to learn how to deal with women the right way. And this is how you would want to be dealt with. Even if the situation not always good, because a guy not going to always keep your daughter in the best situation, but at least you teach your daughter how to deal with being in those situations.
Right, how to maneuver.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And you know, that's the thing, man. You know, I take away from you know, the disciplinary part of raising a kid to the common ground part of communicating and having that open forum with your kids. You know what I'm saying? Because that open forum allows you to get into their head, allows you to better understand their emotions and what they going through and the pressures of life that they going through. Because a lot of times, you know, we figure like, you know, y'all just kids. All y'all got to do is go to school and come home and, you know, do your chores. That's all y'all got. But we don't understand the pressures of life that they go through when they leave home. You know what I'm saying? Especially with their peers and just dealing with, you know, academics and dealing with, you know, am I living up to what my parents want me to be? You know what I'm saying? Am I a failure, or, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, we always got to give them that motivation, and we always got to give them that understanding that, you know, it's things in life that's going to always happen, but how you deal with them makes you the type of person that you are. And understand that, you know, you're not going to win all the time.
I
You're
tell
going
my
to have
kids,
setbacks.
I tell my kids, I say this to them, like when they do something to get in trouble or stuff like that, I be like, why did you do that? I don't never ask them what they do. I be like, why you do that? And then when they telling me why, the what always come out. You know, I be like, you know, always rule number one is don't lie.
Right.
So I'm expecting for you to lie. If I'm asking you, I pretty much know. You know, as a parent, you pretty much know. You know, so I say why, because it ain't what you do, is why you do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I need to know what was the reason. Now, if it was just a far-fetched, some bull crap, then, you know, you're going to get disciplined. My discipline is putting you on a wall and, you know, stuff like that. I don't hit my kids.
Right.
I push my little son. My 3-year-old, I push him down to the ground. That'd be so funny because it's still traumatizing. I know, shut up. But he get up and he start crying. I'll be like, stop crying. Breathe. He be like, I'm like, in your nose and out your mouth. I'm teaching him how to breathe. So once it's time to learn how to meditate, he gonna sit there and be able to meditate. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I see little shit like that. So it be those lessons that you gotta instill. And that's why I say, man, father, mothers, all praises to you. You are the canal, but them fathers, boy. And this we about active father. We ain't talking about the bad ones.
And the thing is, we gotta have a network for fathers. We gotta have a support group for fathers, because I mean, I feel that that's lacking in our community. You know what I'm saying? Just the information and everything. It seems like, you know, it's short.
No, it's easy to retain now, bro. You are active father, so you don't have to worry about it. You know that don't come across your analytism or whatever it is, You feel me? Your algorithm. That's the word, algorithm. It don't come across you an active father. For the ones that ain't active, it's show. You know, the information is out there. Right. You just, the man that don't want the knowledge don't get the knowledge. Yeah. You know, it's for the ones that need it to get it. You know, because like you say, it's easy for the fathers to be fathers nowadays, and that's a beautiful thing. Right. It is still a struggle being a father. You know what I'm saying? Just as well as being a mother. Yeah. But we talking about being a father. You know, so all of the information is there.
And I attest the struggle. It's from bad choices. Yeah. That's our bad choices. I never put that on a woman. I put that on us.
Yeah. You gotta take accountability.
You know what I'm saying? We make bad decisions when it comes to picking the mother of our kids. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta get mentally entwined with ourselves and understand that this is the person that's gonna be helping you raise your kid, or the person that's keeping you from your kid.
The rest of your child's life.
Right. So 18 years. This is what you got to deal with 18 years.
I try to take the ego out of it, and I try to leave logic in everything that I do and I do. I try to deal with my kid's mother, you know, as a business.
Right.
You know. So I deal with a lot of logic. You know, I understand women are emotional creatures, and we are, as human, emotional. You know, but I feel like logic trumps emotion. You know what I'm saying? So, my daughter's mother want to deal in her feelings, and I be like, man, the logic is everything.
I mean, with me, I'm I'm a soldier. You know what I'm saying? I'm a soldier. I'm always ready for battle. And me and my kid's mother got the type of relationship. They would tell me, "Well, fuck you."
See, but that's not
Because
right. But I'm not gonna. And that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm not gonna say that at this stage. My daughter is 7, so she understands the energy. I'm not gonna say that to you, even if I feel like that.
I mean, they got the dialect.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
They got the dialect with me, and our dialect, like I said, is an individual basis. Our dialect is like,
Unless we joking and playing.
Yeah, they be joking.
All right, that's different.
But
that's different.
They'll let me know when, okay, you always want shit to go your way, but
I ain't even like that.
It's not gonna flow today, because today I wanted to be like this, and it's not that I want shit to go my way. It's just that I have a kind of like sometimes I can be stuck in my ways. Sometimes I can be like more old school than anything, and it takes them to bring me into the future. To see, come on, you know what I'm saying? You still thinking old school.
I'm in this generation.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to speak for the ones that's in this generation.
And see, you're going to have to go through this as your kids get older, because...
That's why I admire the relationship that you have with your child's mothers.
Right.
And I adore for that to happen. So I'm ready for that type of shit.
As your kids get older, and, if you be, in the same kind of mind frame, they're going to be like, come on, Dad, and the mother's gonna be like,
and that's why I try to teach my kids logic. I teach my kids that logic is everything, bro.
Yeah.
So my son has came to me with some situations that done happened while he was over his mama house. You know what I'm saying? And all I teach is, hey, you don't ever, not saying that it's always bad. I don't no. But I'm just saying in situations, you don't ever judge nobody. And what they go through, because you don't know why anybody go through what they go through and why they do what they do unless they tell you. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, you always use logic in everything you do. Sometimes you have to take your feelings out of it and understand what's going on. You are a child first, so you have to stay in a child's place. And no matter how smart you are and how exposed you are.
And just speaking on that, one thing that, I pride with my kids' mothers is that we handle shit from two sides, because it was okay. We see what our kid is saying, and we understand what they're saying. Then we had that sidebar huddle.
See, that's what me and my child. That's what me and Lonnie Mama getting to now. That's what we starting to come to.
So it's like the kids are never gonna see us in disagreement.
Yep.
They never gonna see us, talk about that situation. We're gonna talk about it separate from them. Then when we come up with, something we both can live with, then we're gonna represent it. Because, I tell my kids, no matter if you live with me or you live with your moms, you go by the rules that's set, and it ain't no in between. So if you worried about, am I gonna back you up when it comes to your moms? No.
Nope.
Whatever
is right is right.
Right. That's
whatever
what
is
goes.
Right is right.
So don't think that you can say something to her
and what they say
then come and backdoor me
and be a child.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's not gonna happen. Because soon something happens, guess what? Your mom's calling me. What are you talking about?
That's what me.
You know what I'm saying? If you disrespect your moms, guess what? You got to deal with me. Because home, that's my friend.
That's your mama.
And that's your mama.
I was about to say, first of all, that's your mama.
So it ain't no disrespect. You know what I'm saying? And you think I'm cool with it. So the way you talk to me, the way you give me respect, that's the same way you talk to your mama. And you give her respect, because if she tell me anything different, then it's just me and you. You know what I'm saying? And that's vice versa.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of parents, will take a kid's side.
So men in a relationship and being able to co-parent with as a father, being able to co-parent with your kid's mother. How did you establish that? How was it in the beginning? Like, what geared you to say, okay, let's try to build this outside of the other stuff that's normally done?
Because when we first started co-parenting, it was too much of a tug of war. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, well, I want stuff to be like this. No, I want things to be like this. No, I think this best. No, I think this best. We not doing what's best for our kids because we always at odds about little simple shit. So that little simple shit keep us from working, and all the big shit is getting overshadowed. You know what I'm saying? Because of the conflict, the attitudes, we need to figure out a better system. So we need to sit down and come up with the best solution that's best for our kids without putting our kids in between our situations. So they definitely got to be separate from the situation, and we can never let them see us basically going against each other. Because one thing about kids, when they see you going against each other, they use that to the advantage.
Yes, I see
that shit like ding, ding, ding.
And they do it at any age.
So,
at
you know,
any age.
they get in you because they get into your feelings. They get into your emotional side.
And they see it. They see it being done. They're like,
especially when they feel like you got a gripe with the other parent. You know what I'm saying? Now I can really move in because he already feeling a certain type of way about my mama. So now I can just, I can get grim with it. You know what I'm saying? And you have to put it to the point where they can't get in between. You know what I'm saying? It got to be all about what's in their best interest. And I mean, like for real best interest, not all that bullshit, you know what I'm saying? But what we both morally and we both as life experience done seen happen, done took place, and are we basically letting our kids be subjected to this or putting them in a situation, you know what I'm saying, that's dangerous because they want to go have fun, but are we protecting their best interests?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when
I see that.
When you co-parenting and shit, you got to learn to work together. You got to find that common ground.
So do you feel like, how do you feel when the first situation came up? And I'm asking you, like I said, you've been through this. You know, yours is older than mine.
Right.
So how did you feel when that first incident came up and it didn't go your way and you felt like your way was the right way? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, at that time, I just felt like it should have went my way. You know what I'm saying? And
because that's a struggle.
I was thinking the bad part about it, I was thinking that I know best.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So my decision should be honored over anybody else's decision. Don't nobody know better than me. And that was a fucked up way of thinking. Cause I mean, this is a woman that I had a kid by. I trust her with my kid. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Just like she trusts me with the kids. So who am I to say her opinion don't matter? And my opinion is the all above opinion.
Right.
You know, how would I feel if somebody did that to me? I feel like that's totally bullshit.
But what if it came out for, okay, it didn't go your way, but at the end of the day, you know, what you said was the right way, and it's shown to be right. I'm not saying you should gloat in it, but I'm saying like obviously, you know, it should be like. I mean, I'm not saying I'm dealing with this at all. No, I'm not.
That's what should. That's what should pull you together, because you should be able to sit down and have that conversation. You know what I'm saying? Not like you say, not to throw it in your face or nothing, but you should have that conversation where this is why I was saying or stated what I stated. You know what I'm saying? Because my concerns was this. So
you basically saying you all about the conversation. It got to be about the
dialogue.
Got to be open.
When you say it like that, you know what it makes them think like, you know what, maybe I handled it the wrong way and I should have listened. You know what I'm saying? But I let my I let my feelings get into it and shit. Right. You know what I'm saying? So that pretty much made the conversation short, where we could have just came with a compromise and worked this out. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of women always told me is not what you say, it's how you say it.
I definitely, I say that all the time.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that has a lot to do with
the whys and the hows matter more than the what.
Even like being a young father, I seen so many couples, especially older couples when I was growing up, they be, you bitch and ho, I don't like you, you motherfucker, and this and that. Dude, I don't care how mad I get at my kids' mothers. I never call them bitches.
Oof. Oh.
You know what I'm saying? I never call them hoes. And I tried to refrain from that because I thought that shit was so personal and so out of the way. And sometimes, one chick told me that she was like, be careful of what you say because sometimes you can't come back from what you say, even if you say it out of anger. Because most women feel like when you say some shit out of anger, that's the shit that you meant to say all the time, or that's how you really feel. And a lot of women feel like that. Even though you might say it in the midst of why you angry, and you'll say it just to piss them off. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because we as males, we gonna say some shit to piss you off just because we can. But some women take that shit to heart, and they'll say, if you said it while you was angry, you meant to say it, and that's how you feel about me.
Yeah.
And shit, a lot of them can't forgive you for that shit. It's just, they get pissed.
Ooh, boy, you put that woman in that pink wig, she go crazy, boy.
So, I mean...
the rage kicked. Right. She hear you call her and be like, no, you want to fight?
So, I mean...
those are fighting words.
So, I mean, we, as fathers, we are the overseers.
Yeah.
So... when I say we the overseers, we really gotta look at how we conduct ourselves and how we handle ourselves.
You speaking to all of the fathers, but that sounds like you speaking to the ones that want to become fathers too.
Yeah, I mean, how you carry yourself and how do you handle yourself and how you talk to your kids' mother, you got to understand this is the woman that you laid down with.
It seems like it'd be a cycle too, man.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about it is we got to break the cycle of not taking care of ourselves or not, treating ourselves certain ways and understanding how everything works when it comes to, being a daughter and being a man. And like I say, we can take that back to what type of woman that we pick, what type of woman we choose to lay down with. Because in our mind, we know what type of woman we with. We know what we getting ourselves into. You know what I'm saying? Do the research. You know what I'm saying? Because like you say, this is 18 years of your life that you got to deal with. Yeah.
Don't just have, sometimes it got to be about fun, brother. You young, man. You just got to be cautious of what you're doing, man. Exactly. Protect yourself. Keep yourself equipped. You know what I'm saying? And when you want to, because you want to be smart about everything you do. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, man, because I'm not good at pulling out. I'm not a good pull-out motherfucker.
That's why you should strap up, brother. That's why I say keep yourself equipped.
Yeah, I got to strap the fuck up.
Keep yourself equipped.
It's all shit. I done fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I might as well park the calendar right now. You know what I'm saying?
Tell me when the baby shower.
So, I was a motherfucker, like, shit, I go to CVS and be like, shit, give me a motherfucking 30-pack, shit, because this shit ain't no workout. You know what I'm saying? Shit, some of us are not some, good pull-out motherfuckers. So
that's why you got to keep yourself equipped.
I'm like, because we can be young. It's a great thing to be young out here, chilling, doing whatever. But you got to think, if you young and you out here sleeping with multiple women and shit, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have multiple kids.
You have multiple issues.
Especially if you ain't protecting yourself. So, it depends on what you feel like dealing with. Because, you got to understand, if you have 3 kids by 3 different women, them are 3 different individuals. Them are 3 different people raising your kids. And them are 3 different people that
Why you ain't say 2,
co-parenting
bro?
with.
Why you ain't say 2?
2, 3, 5, shit. Depends on how many times you fuck up. You know, because at the end of the day, you got to look at it. Nobody blames the woman.
She the canal.
Nobody asks the woman, how come you ain't take birth control? Nobody asks the woman, how come you ain't say no? Nobody asks the woman, how come you ain't make them wear a condom? You know what I'm saying? Only thing that it comes to is he should have scrapped up.
Yeah.
He should have made better choices of the women that he picked.
For the ones that don't have good ones.
All right. So, you know, that alone let you know the responsibility is on you, bruh. And what you do. You are responsible for these decisions.
There it is.
You know what I'm saying?
There it is.
What type of father you want to be?
Yeah.
What type of stress you want to go
Deal
through?
with.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When you raising your kids. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? When you have your child, don't you want them to grow up in a happy environment?
Because I can tell you some
You know what I'm saying? Don't you want them to be able to, you know, come to your house stress free? You know, and y'all do all the things that you do, or do you want to be arguing and fighting and be in court every day, every month? You know what I'm saying? We as men gotta make these decisions, and we gotta make the right decisions. Shit, you don't know what decision to make? Talk to an uncle, talk to a brother that got kids.
Yeah,
that's raising
active.
a family.
I was just about to say that's active with their kids, man.
Right?
Not none of these guys who be comfortable with the minimum. You know what I'm saying?
Because, I mean, if you ask me, we're going to have to sit down and have at least a 3 to 4 hour conversation, because there's so much shit in between of just, you know, a woman being pregnant and, you know what I'm saying, a kid being here.
18.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, your oldest is how old?
My oldest is 30.
You know what I'm saying? So, that first 18 ain't always easy, and some it is and some it ain't, you know, so that's actually what we'll end up doing one day. We'll have a panel of fathers in here. We're going to talk that talk.
No doubt.
From our age to, you know. But we got to get ready to go ahead and slide into that fuck you for the week.
Yes, sir.
Presented to you by Used to know. This ain't
my fuck you for the week. It's us as a generation, as a culture, as people. We got to understand that it's becoming to the months. It's getting hot out here. Oh. Everybody outside. You know, everybody want to be outside. But be cautious, because we got kids out here. Yeah. We got mothers out here, grandmothers, grandfathers, fathers that want to make it home to see their kids. So our actions are the most important things that we have control of. So all this senseless killing, you know, the senseless fighting, you know, back and forth amongst each other. When we go out to have fun. We go out for a peace of mind. We don't go out thinking that if I go out today, I'm not coming home tomorrow. So be conscious in mind when dealing with people in certain situations. It's okay to walk away if you feel that a situation is getting out of hand, or, you know, it doesn't matter. It's not that you being a punk. You know what I'm saying? These situations that we face every day is so fucking minor, but people are getting killed behind it. Not just, you know, the people that they after, but innocent people, young kids, you know, innocent adults and shit. You know what I'm saying? We got to be mindful. When you hear motherfuckers dying over $4 or dying over something as simple as a car accident or shit like that, you know what I'm saying? You got to think. When we talk about single parents and single fathers and shit, that's how some of these kids become single fathers, by the actions of others. Because some of these people out here have no care. You know what I'm saying? And it's becoming all too common that everybody is caught in the midst of, you know what I'm saying, their recklessness. So, I mean, when we hang out, we know who's reckless. We know which one of our partners and shit that's, get drunk, get off the hinges, or get too high, or just be out there looking for shit. I mean, y'all hanging together, it's your job to keep that motherfucker in check. You know what I'm saying? Because we put, innocent people and killing kids and shit, that's not cool. That's not who we are. That's not who we are as a generation or as a culture. So, we got to really take responsibility and, really motherfuckers look at it as, snitching and this and that. Dude, understand what the fuck snitching is. Motherfuckers out here killing kids and you keeping your mouth closed, they ain't got shit to do with snitching. That got shit to do with stupidity. You know what I'm saying? Because next, it could be your kid, could be your mama, could be your grandma. So we got to start thinking, this shit of loyalty and this shit of turning the other cheek, dude, it's not doing us no good in our community. We got to really, trust the snake to be a snake. And, so it's like, as these months start to heat up and we outside, we got to be cautious of each other and understand that, the way people view our community is the actions that we put forth for them to view. So, I mean, if we out here not really policing each other, and that's within every crew got that hot head. You're not policing him and make sure he's not doing the wild shit that puts you in danger or other people in danger, well, fuck you, because you're not taking care of your business. You're not looking out for your people.
All right. That's who get that fuck you for the week. So my motivation for the week is going to be at peace, man. Be at peace with yourself and spread peace. If you be at peace with yourself, man, you don't have to worry about, bringing that negative energy. Yes, it could come to you, but if I'm spreading peace and you spreading peace and you spreading peace and you spreading, and we all just so peaceful, that's utopia. So let's lead towards a state of utopia, and that shit start within the mind. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
So that's what we had on that.
And shout out to my man Snoop Dogg. He got Death Row. So, I always rock with Death Row.
Death Row!
Yes, sir. He did it so perfectly.
Yeah.
He the best that did it.
I like his comedy show that he came out of. Yeah, that boy popped that shit. Let's get back into that Rocket or Drop It for the week. That Rocket or Drop It is Crown Me Cook single, What Up?
What up?
Peace. Keep it together, never separated.
Yeah, what up? Soulmate, what up? 4-1, what up? Southwest, what up? I'm in the hood, pull up. Van Dyke, North End, Beirut, what up? PA, pull up. Eastmore, what up? Detroit, what up? Champtown, what up? Gumroot, what up? I'm in the hood, pull up. Yaktown, Kazoo, Ben Hart, what up? Flintstone, Ipsy, Lansing, what up? Michigan made the lineage of a Wolverine. I'm next up to rap games in the guillotine. Mr. It's a body himself, I'm known to kill a scene. I got the illest team, made scar and striped I earn. I'm a veteran, big K's in front of the building, you think it's Kettering. 95 Max Master, Northwestern Letterman. Training day Monty, doing a dash up Jefferson. 38 specialist, I ride with it, whether be caught with it, then without it, on either side with it. Using blue 392, I'm in that Dodge with it. We on the lodge with it, West Grand Bully, nigga. Right behind Motown Museum, Crack Avery. I'm still down the way around the bean, they still hating me. I'm still on my way, I'm bound to win, I waited patiently. I took all them L's on the chin. What up? HP, what up? 100 years, what up? ATB, what up? I'm in